Hello everyone, welcome to Retro Lunch. Today we're going to take a look at the TrimUI Brick. Now the real question that we're going to answer today is, are you on Team Red or are you on Team Purple? Here we have a TrimUI Brick that you've already seen on the channel in a nice purple color. This one was purchased with my own money. This one was sent over by Mech DIY. They have no insight into this review, no influence over this review. They did not pay me for this review, and they will not see this video ahead of time. Let's take a quick look at what we got. They came shipped with the Surwish memory card. This is the 256 gigabyte version. Now, let's take a look at the star of the show. Beautiful red color. Let's go through a quick tour of the device hardware. We have the TrimUI D-pad, buttons, which are, in my mind, a little bit shallow, but still they feel good in game. The TrimUI menu button, select and start in the front, and there are two function buttons. Here on the side we have volume up, volume down. On this side there is a toggle switch, which is configurable in software, as well as the power button. Here at the bottom we have the charging USB-C cord, the SD card, as well as a headphone jack. Here at the top, between the shoulder buttons and trigger buttons, is a port for OTG that's on-the-go USB. So charging will not occur through that port, but you can attach other devices. Taking another quick look here at device comparisons, you can see that it's significantly smaller than the GKD Pixel 2, with a similar size buttons. Although the button height on the Brick is a bit more shallow, but still has good enough travel to feel good. The Brick is smaller than the Retroid Pocket Classic. Similar size D-pad. The buttons are about the same height and same size between the Classic and the Brick, but the buttons on the Classic are more firm and the buttons on the Brick are more rounded. Makes it almost easier for your fingers to slip off the edge, but I have not found it to be an issue in gameplay. As I mentioned, this is already loaded with the Surwish OS. We take a look at how it looks out of the box. First user experience, it goes into this Best UI. From here we get into various collections. This seems like it would be handy for a new user to just find games immediately. It looks like they will have to know which system to select from, but they do have a lot of games. Let's go from this back one more level into the main UI. From here at the top, you can see we're already here at Bests. Starting from Favorites, nothing selected. Recent, here's some apps that I have already tried. Bests, Games. This will be the main UI, I think, for most people, because this is where we do our system select. From here, you can see they have a lot of systems and a lot of games pre-configured. Going here into one example, Nintendo 64. Yeah, there is a ton of games to choose from. They filled up this 256 gigabyte card for sure. Let's see, moving forward. Looks like they do have ports. And as I mentioned before, while I do not prefer for independent games to be pre-installed on the system since they're still available for purchase, it is at least handy to have them pre-configured. Going through the top, we also have apps. So with Surwish, they pre-configured some apps that are also available here on CrossMix, be able to change the boot logo, getting into the USB storage, file manager, OTA updates. That'll be interesting to see if it pulls from CrossMix or from Surwish directly. Portmaster, directly going to RetroArch to be able to configure settings. Scraper is handy. Screen recording is nice. I would love to see who would use a terminal on a device like this. I'm sure it'd be handy to hook up an external keyboard if you want to get really into the weeds. Now between these two, let's take a look at the colors. I still really like this purple color. This red though, it does have a lot of pop. It has a lot of personality. It is a bit darker in hue than this berry. Changing the lighting settings a little bit just so you can see it in different bits of sunlight. You see the red actually does have more pop than it did initially. The purple here is a darker hue of purple, but it is very classy. Now, honestly, between the two, I'm kind of split. For me, it will almost depend upon what kind of mood I'm in. Now, you can see Surwish versus Newly. I still really like Newly. Newly Gladiator works fantastic on this device. If you do end up doing custom firmware to Newly, I might wait just one more version because I think they promise to have over-the-air updates working in future versions, but you will have to reflash in order to get there. Now let's take a look at the colors on screen a little bit better. Let's take off screen protector. Now we're looking at these things apples to apples. Yeah, and as you can see, both of them look really, really good. The colors pop. One other feature of the Surwish OS that I wanted to point out was its search option. So it seems here if you go to the top level menu and push back, get into this dashboard menu, you select search. Now, I wanted to point out this issue, and I saw this with the Wi-Fi too. If you take a look at the keyboard is cut off here to the right. My suspicion is that the keyboard is laid out for the TrimUI Smart Pro, which is a 16:9 system, and that's why there's this extra width here. It is still functional, it can be worked around, but it is a little bit disappointing. Another feature of Surwish that I wanted to take a quick look at was here in System Tools. Let's go here into System Tools, select. This gives us some options with the hardware. So for example, the LEDs. Select LED. Looks like they give us some options in terms of letting us know the battery level, rainbow, temperature. An ambient option would let you change the color based on what is currently being displayed on the screen to try to do screen matching. I suspect this might actually have a performance impact because it's capturing a screenshot and analyzing the color every single time. For now, I think we should go with battery level. So at least I get some indication on the battery level. The disappointing thing for me here is that what I'm not seeing is the ability to select a specific color, so they don't have a color matching option. I'd like to go through one more interesting thing which is unique to the Brick, which is the function buttons that are here on the side. So if you go into the app section, there is a function key setting. If we open that up, we can map different built-in functions to this function 1, function 2, and switch here on the side. Now, I made a mistake when I first opened up the software, which is that I did not see that green ring, which indicates which button it's actually targeting. What we have is a D-pad to joystick toggle. This will switch the D-pad to act as a joystick. This is handy for N64 games, and we're going to test this out. We'll set that. Now if we move, press to the right, realize we've switched over to the right function button, which I have set to an LED off switch. And then if I push it, you can see the LEDs are turned back on. And I push the right one more time. Now we've got the function button on the side. I've used this to go into silent mode, which will quiet the device so that I can play it without the sound disturbing people around me. It's kind of a quick way of doing a mute. Now you can see from here, I'm inside of Mario 64. I'm pushing all of the buttons. Mario is not moving. Now, if I push the function button to map the D-pad, now the D-pad is acting as a joystick and Mario is able to move. Overall, I'd say that I am a fan of the TrimUI Brick. I've been a big fan of the TrimUI Brick for quite some time. I'm a little bit less enthusiastic about the version of Surwish that they have on this. I think Surwish was actually better implemented on another 4x3 device, which is the EU Flip. Now, hopefully there are software updates that will occur in the future, but as of right now, my recommendation would be to get the device. If you get the device with the Surwish software, what you do get is a branded SD card and a lot of games, but I would still recommend flashing to a custom firmware like Newly. Now, in terms of likes and dislikes, I like the hardware. I like the buttons. I like the speed of the device. I like the resolution of the screen. This is a high resolution screen with colors that really pop. For dislikes, I dislike the software. I dislike the bugs in the software. I wish that the menu button was a little bit easier to access. Sometimes I get this confused with select, but over time you get used to it. TrimUI Brick, one of my everyday carries, one of my favorites, have my own personally. I'm loving the red color. Still can't choose between them, but I think I'm going to gravitate towards the red because red is becoming one of my new favorite colors. Thank you for watching, and remember to stay retro, stay gaming, stay awesome. Thanks everyone.